What's going on, guys? It's the Certified G. Jeffrey is back. I am here with Cindy G, and we are here to do our predictions for NXT Takeover Chicago. We have 5 matches so far. We might get a 6, who knows? But let's start off. We have Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll start off with you, Cindy. Give us your thoughts and your predictions for that match.
Well, before I get everything started with the match, I'm actually looking forward to Takeover much more better than looking forward to Money in the Bank because of like the whole build-up that is going on. I'm even more excited than ever. Thank goodness we had like a full break from all this crazy pay-per-view that's been going on. So this is kind of like much of a refresher. So let's go ahead and segue into the match. So far, I'm actually looking forward to Ricochet and Velveteen Dream's match. They had like a pretty solid feud ever since like they were supposed to be having like a match at one of the NXT episodes until they got interrupted by none other than Lars Sullivan. So the handicap match, you already know what happened. Velveteen Dream did turn on Ricochet. And then like later on, it was like who can be better at being the greatness and all that. So this is going to be by far a good start of the match, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead with my pick. And it is one of the hardest decisions I ever choose. But my gut feeling would have to say Ricochet. But my heart would have to be Velveteen Dream. But I'm just going to go with my gut. And I'm going to go with Ricochet. So what about you, Certified G?
All right. Well, I actually, when I was at NXT Bel Air last April, this past April, I actually got to see they had a match, Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. And that was the match of the night. Like you were saying on NXT TV, I mean, you had them 2-on-1 handicap match against Lars Sullivan, and they were looking awesome together. I thought they could be a tag team.
Yeah.
But, Velveteen Dream, he's got to get the upper hand. So he leaves after he did the Death Valley Driver or whatever it was. And the next week, he said to Ricochet, like, anything that Ricochet can do better, the Velveteen Dream can do better. So what does he do? Ricochet flips out of the
yeah.
And Velveteen just looked like he saw a ghost. He was like, okay. So I'm going to have to go. I like both men, both incredible athletes. But my pick is going to be, I like Ricochet, but it's going to be the Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
I actually, when Velveteen Dream, he actually started out as Pastor Clark out here in Maryland, and I saw him when he first started out wrestling from MCW to Tough Enough to NXT. Now he's the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
So he's come a long way. He's come a long, long way. So we got different picks, which is good. Something different. All right. So the next match we can talk about is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. We have the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus Oney Larkin and Danny Burch. We'll start with you again, Cindy, and then we'll go to me.
Well, I mean, I feel that with that match, it's just going to be, a really quick match so far. I mean, with the whole feud between Undisputed Era with Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Pete Dunne ever since that whole situation with Roderick Strong turning on Pete Dunne at TakeOver NOLA, it kind of seems like it's the Battle of the Alliance. Now, I feel that I'm kind of like having a mixed feelings about the match so far because I was expecting either Heavy Machinery or TM61 to be the one that's going to take on Undisputed Era. But give or take, we may going to see it at the next TakeOver Brooklyn 4, I believe. But I think it's like a good way to see like what both Oney and Danny can do as a team. I mean, we did briefly see more of them this year than the past NXT episodes. So I'm just going to have to say for my pick, and I feel that there's going to be some shenanigans going on. My pick is going to be Undisputed Era to retain the title. So what about you?
I'm going to have to agree with you. Undisputed Era is going to retain. I think only Lorcan and Danny Burch are there just to have their one-off match. I mean, this past week on NXT, you had Danny Burch and Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong won. And I believe the week before, or 2 weeks before, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you had the six-man tag team match where Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, and Pete Dunne did beat the Undisputed Era. Now, like you said, there could be some shenanigans because Adam Cole doesn't have a match, which is really weird. They introduced this new title, but they're not defending it. Apparently he's defending it at Evolve 107. But yeah, that's my pick, the Undisputed Era. I think the next feud they'll have is probably with the War Raiders or Heavy Machinery.
Or TM61. I mean, they did have... Yeah, because they have like a winning streak going on. Like they did beat War Raiders. They beat Heavy Machinery. They did beat the Enhancement Tag Team. So it's ever since that Shane Thorne did return on NXT TV from his ACL injury, which is like almost 2 years. Yeah. And so it's great to see both Nick Miller and Shane Thorne on TV and getting as much win as they needed. I feel like they're like mostly the top star of NXT in the tag team division.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you have some teams too. I mean, you have Street Profits, and you have who else do you have? There's some other teams that they really don't use on TV, but just for like the house shows they use. That they'll probably bring up eventually.
Yeah.
All right. So the next match is for the NXT Women's Championship. We have the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, versus Nikki Cross. I'm starting off with this one. My pick, obviously, is Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Her promos aren't all that good yet. She's still working on it. But when it comes to the ring, she's an ass kicker. Snap, tap, or something else.
Either one.
So, Nikki Cross, I mean, I'll give her props. She's still doing good. She didn't go up with Sanity, obviously, because they need more women down there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Dakota Kai can interfere and help or Nikki Cross. I don't know. It's hard to say, but like I said, I'm going with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, let's start off with what I feel about Nikki Cross. So, although for a fact that we were all expecting Nikki Cross to join Sanity to SmackDown Live since they've been called up after Mania, however, I think that it is the right move for Nikki to stay on NXT because in the beginning when she was part of Sanity, I wasn't even fond of like her gimmick. Like I feel like it just needs like a little bit more tweaking to her character. But as she progressive, like in her in-ring ability, it kind of grew on me. But in my gut feeling, I just wish that she would separate it from Sanity. And I'm happy that WWE did make a right decision to keep Nikki on to NXT and have EY, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane on SmackDown Live, even though they haven't even debuted yet on TV, only just the promos, and they recently been debuted on the live show as well. So I don't know what's going to happen with the usage for Sanity. I just hope not they're going to be coming back from NXT because it's going to be like a waste of a build-up, just like from past like wrestlers years ago. But rest aside. But yeah, so anyway, that build-up for the match is pretty by far outstanding, especially you have Shayna Baszler being the top heel of the NXT Women's Division. Like, either whether the babyface or the heel are like afraid of her, she can take anybody down. And so with that match against Dakota Kai, she definitely deserved to retain the title, even though I'm kind of like not a quite a fan of Dakota Kai yet, but I'm glad that Nikki is going to be the one that's going to be challenging Shayna for the title. So for my pick, because I feel that this is just going to be a standard takeover show, possibly a lead up to the takeover Brooklyn 4, my pick is going to be Shayna Baszler to retain the title.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Nikki, I mean, she's doing all right down there. You know, she's playing that crazy psychotic, female. You know, she was telling Shayna, come on, do it on NXT. And then, like, the week before when she fought, when Shayna fought Dakota, she came out and she's like, all right, Dakota, you're the referee.
Yeah.
And then she pinned Shayna and ran around like she won the title. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It is. It just shows to prove that Nikki can definitely play mind games to Shayna, that with Shayna's, like, intelligent level, you can tell, like, she has no idea what she's coming into with Nikki because of her, like, insane gimmick. Yeah.
All right, so the next match I want to talk about is for the NXT Championship. We have Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan. Oh my God, I don't know where to begin. I mean, this feud really hasn't done anything. I mean, you had Lars Sullivan attack a couple people saying he wants a shot at the NXT Championship. And then Aleister Black came out and cut a promo, I think, 2 weeks ago. And Lars came out and said, I'm going to be challenging you for the NXT Championship at Takeover Chicago. And Aleister Black tried to do his Fade to Black kick. Lars stopped it, gave him the freak accident, and that was pretty much it for the build. So my pick is Aleister Black is going to retain just for the simple fact that he did recently win this title at NXT Takeover New Orleans. But I don't know who his next opponent could be. But I'm sticking with Aleister Black. What about you, Cindy?
I mean, that whole feud between Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan seems random because in past NXT episodes that Lars Sullivan has been, like, in a feud for anybody, especially he did have, like, a short-term feud with Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. So it kind of makes us logical that WWE is trying to push Lars Sullivan as, like, one of the monster heel in the division. So now, if Lars Sullivan beats Aleister Black for the NXT title, then it's going to lose its credibility. Like, that's what I feel about when Andrade Cien almost won that NXT title against Johnny Gargano, and we all thought it was going to be, like, an end and all that. But they did prove that they finally did it. They threw out one hell of a great match. But regarding with Lars Sullivan, I don't think he's not in that caliber yet. Like, you should stick with him in the mid-carder, like, probably competing for the North American title. So for that reason, my pick is going to be Aleister Black to retain a title. And I have a feeling for that next challenger, it's going to have to be EC3.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Yeah. 1%.
1%.
Yep.
All right. So the fifth match and final match is a Chicago Street fight for pretty much the feud of the year in NXT and WWE altogether.
Yeah.
Is Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. This build-up for this match has been, I think, the best. You had Johnny Gargano was going to face Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. Ciampa comes out, attacks him. He's out. Gargano's out for a while again. Then a couple weeks later, Ciampa's cutting a promo. Gargano comes out with Candice, and Candice is like, "No, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it." And Johnny said, "You know what? It's worth it." So he and Ciampa start going at it, or he runs back to the ring. Ciampa pushes Gargano onto Candice, and she like lays out flat for like the rest of the show. And so then last week, they came back out and they were fighting again, and I don't know. This is just an awesome feud.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be the last match on the
Yes.
show, just like it was at New Orleans. I don't know. It's a tough one to pick, but I'm going to have to go with Gargano. I know he won at New Orleans as well, but he's got to get this final nail in the coffin
Yep.
to get rid of Ciampa, because I feel that Ciampa, I don't know when he's going to the main roster, or both of them are going to the main roster after SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going to happen, because they've been on NXT for a good, was it a year and a half now?
2 years.
Something like that. So that's my pick, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling. Cindy G, what is your prediction?
I mean, I could agree with you, because knowing the fact that Tommaso and Johnny has been in a whole like bloodbath of a feud, give or take, I feel like they're probably going to be calling up after SummerSlam. Who knows? Yeah. However, like with that whole feud, this is by far the best feud of the year so far. Hell, even better than AJ versus Shinsuke's feud. Like, come on now. So anyway, what's so pretty interesting about that is that you saw Tommaso coming out, and he's the only NXT star, or probably a WWE star, with no theme music, which is so much better. Like, thank goodness, no record scratching unlike Dolph Ziggler. But anywho, and you can hear that a lot of people are like booing and heckling the hell out of Tommaso, and he can deal with like any other, this whole chant going on, like a-hole chant, you suck, BS, etc. and etc. And he gives zero crap about it, because you know how he is great of a heel he is. Now with Johnny Wrestling, he is putting on one hell of a fight, especially trying to prove that he definitely deserves to be in NXT, and for the fact that he wanted to brawl out Tommaso one more time before moving forward. So for my pick, it's going to be Johnny Gargano for the win, and hopefully probably Johnny Gargano may have like another title shot against Aleister Black. Maybe we'll see like between them or a triple threat or fatal four-way. Who knows?
Yep. All right. Well, those are all our picks for NXT Takeover Chicago. I think it'll be a better show than Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more excited. For some reason, when takeovers come on, I'm more excited for that than for the actual pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But Money in the Bank is always good too, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I guess you want to do your plugs?
Alrighty, so you guys can follow me at nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to my Twitter account. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's simply_C_OK. And make sure to follow me to my YouTube channel at simply_C_OK, where I did recently post a music video reaction to Real One, formerly known as Enzo Amore's Phoenix. So check it out, guys.
Cheap plug for Interstate Kyle. You can follow him at patreon.com/Interstate Kyle, and you guys will get all these exclusive deals and stuff like that if you sign up. You guys can follow me at NoDQ/Geoff, I believe it is, for my Twitter. I'm NoDQ_CertifiedG at Instagram. You guys can follow me on Facebook. Go to NoDQ or Pro Wrestling Tees, search NoDQ. Get your NoDQ.com t-shirts, get your Virtue, get your Jeff Meacham NoDQ panel. Greg Cherry also has one, PA Sensation. Go look him up. He has a couple shirts as well. And that's it for the Certified G and for Cindy G. We will see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Peace out.